Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you are watching this channel, depending on your time zone. As we are speaking now, William Ruto is not in this country. And therefore, the man in charge is his deputy, Gachagua. And yesterday, Gachagua was somewhere in Kericho County. And while in Kericho, he issued a statement which seemingly, that statement is meant to damage, destroy, and divide this country going forward. According to Gachagua, he said that government is like a company where people or individuals have their shares in that company. And therefore, according to Kenya Kwanza, those people who were there when William Ruto was campaigning, they are the big shareholders in that company. So if it will come to the issue of tender or appointment, then they are the people who are going to get the appointment. The rest who are against William Ruto in the campaign will have no space in that government. So you wonder, if that is the way to go, then what is the meaning of democracy and election in a given country? Is it meant to divide a country or to strengthen the growth and development of a given country?
Hii serikali ni kampuni na ni ya shares. Si ndio? Ni ya shares. Kuna wenye kampuni, wale wako na shares mingi, kuna wale wako na chache, kuna wale hawana. Hii kura iko na maana. Nyinyi hamwezi piga kelele huko, mpige kelele. Mnasema William Ruto ni bure, hawezi, mnaita yeye majina. Alafu akipata, akigawa, mnapiga laini ati mko pale mbele. Ati mnataka mpite wale walisema anafaa ati mkue pale mbele. Inawezekana? Mimi kazi yangu pale kwa ikulu ni hiyo. Ni kupanga hiyo laini. Hapo ni kazi mimi napanga hapo. Mimi naangalia kwa laini, nikiona wewe ulipanda, natoa wewe nyuma, napeleka wewe mbele. Nikiona wewe hukupanda na kutoa na kurudisha nyuma, ufanye nini? Niendelee.
Now, Rigathi Gachagua is close to William Samoei Ruto. So there are two things we want to discuss here or ask on this punchline. Number one, why Gachagua is coming in public to make noise about appointment in William Ruto's government when they can talk in privacy? Is there something wrong? Number two, what does this noise mean for this country, Kenya? Because Kenya is a country with more than 42 tribes. But before we go deep into that, just a quick request. For those who are watching and you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. And back to this discussion. Now, I don't know how to put this one, but the worst thing that William Samoei Ruto did to this country was going for the former DO and make him his running mate in the 2022 general election. Yes, he might have lost the election, but he's in the power. But what if he had just a good deputy president? We would have not been treated to this kind of utterance from someone who is in power, second in command. Even if you try to compare from the first president during when Kenya was just becoming a nation governed by Africans, even Kenyatta himself could not utter such statement, or his vice president. Even during Moi time, where we had real dictatorship and tribalism, they could not mention such kind of words. But Gachagua is here with a lot of confidence. He's talking about all these issues. He's telling us that government is like a company. And that's why we said that in this government, instead of electing leaders, people ended up electing entrepreneurs into power. And that is where we get wrong. How can you compare a government to a company which is meant to make profit and not losses? And because of this, because now it's not only Gachagua, that's why you are seeing this government is talking about selling those entities, parastatals, and including even learning institutions that are not making profit. They want to sell. So you see, they're talking about selling universities. In a government, we have some of the institutions that are meant not to make profit, but to educate the society and eradicate poverty. But seemingly they are only focusing on profit. And soon, most of this, even the schools in this country, are going to be privatized because their main focus is on profit, but not the real goal. Because, some institutions are just meant to serve people. Because again, this is a government that's already collecting taxes. So when you're collecting taxes, it's not all about profit, but serving the interest of the people. That should be the first priority. For example, we had subsidy here. That subsidy, they were using taxpayers' money to make life comfortable even for the poor. But when the managers who came in to make profit in the name of president and his deputy, they removed subsidy because they did not see the profit out of the subsidy. That's the first thing Rigathi Gachagua is telling Kenyans. Number two, let us now go much more deeper. When Gachagua is talking about the people who came after the election, now they should be kept back. So that those who campaigned for William Ruto, those who have been there with William Ruto, should be given first priority in appointment and in contracts. He's saying this, but we already know that Ruto has done so. But then, who are these people Gachagua is talking about? Number one, I want to think that Gachagua is addressing the Somali community. We know very well that after Ruto was announced the president, we have the Somali community with their UDM party, which came and joined Kenya Kwanza. Post-election agreement was written. Seemingly, it's like Gachagua is fighting these people. Gachagua is fighting this Somali community in William Ruto's government. Because seemingly, Somali, there are people who are good in business, and of course they have been going for contracts here and there. There is possibility that Gachagua is fighting with these individuals, especially when it comes to the issue of contracts in this country. That's why he's making this noise in public, but not addressing William Ruto in privacy. And that also tells you one thing. There is a misunderstanding between Rigathi Gachagua and William Samoei Ruto as far as running of this government is concerned. Possibility of Ruto not involving Rigathi Gachagua in appointments is there. Ruto might be appointing Kikuyus in his government, but he's not consulting Rigathi Gachagua. That means the people from Mount Kenya Ruto is appointing, they are William Ruto's appointees, but not a negotiation between Gachagua and William Samoei Ruto. That's why we are having that noise. Number two, the other people will be the team that was at Statehouse as of late. The one with the Jalango team, those 10 members of parliament from the ODM party, that's Nyanza region. Gachagua is telling them, listen here, you just came the other day. So, we will not give you a priority in fact, this one, they're not looking for appointment. Those ones might be looking for contracts. Because how do you help them? As William Ruto, you will talk to these leaders that let me give you contract here and there. Then from there, you can earn your own money and support my work. Those are the people Gachagua is fighting in this government. That you will not get first priority in appointment in contracts in this government. But we know for them to survive with William Ruto, the first thing will be those contracts. So it's like Ruto want to give them contract, but Gachagua is saying, listen, wait here, I'm here to make noise, they will not get. First of all, my people. or those who are in a Kenya Kwanza during the campaign. And lastly, they are in terms of contracts. Those people who joined from Jubilee side, they just came the other day. But these people, they will only work with you if you give them first priority. Kila mwanasiasa ako na bei yake. That is the truth of the matter. Even William Ruto has a price. Raila Odinga ako na bei. And if you don't see them supporting anyone, it means they are very expensive. You cannot buy them. So they can only buy you. So these politicians, when they come with their price. Ruto has to meet the price for them to work with them. That's why Gachagua is not comfortable when William Ruto is continuously bringing people on table. It means whatever he had planned to have in this government, he might end up not getting it. And the worst thing when it comes to awarding of contracts, we might end up having incompetent contractors in this country because you have to focus on at least getting the best bidder out of 3 contractors who applied. So if it means that you have the best contractor but he was not supporting you, then you end up giving a wrong contractor a contract. Then you end up messing up the real entire work. So what is the gain of that? What is the gain of that? There is so many things you need to put into consideration when it comes to governance. It is different from campaign. But then the question is, what does this all mean to Kenya as a country? We go to election. You should not force anyone to vote on your side. The issue is that if you want to give contract and appointment to one side, where are you collecting taxes in this country when it comes to now those contracts? Are you only collecting from Mount Kenya and Rift Valley? Or you are collecting your taxes across the board? If so, then why are you selective when it comes to contracts and appointments? Because even in government, we have technocrats. Technocrats might have not supported anyone. So you can go in Nyanza region, look for someone who was not in the campaign and appoint that person. Get to Somali and elsewhere, Ukambani, Western, so that you make a country, you have the face of the country in your governance. But this government has failed. But Gachagua is making this noise. This noise, it means that there is a disagreement between the Gachagua and William Samoei Ruto. As simple as that.